Yay Networks.
Well. Wow, that was a nice little head spin.
Yeah.
Who are you?
I am Andrew.
Everyone? My brother, Andrew Bertel, for the first time ever, is appearing on Junkyard Mayhem.
Okay, I was going to say, I've been on videos before, but...
Yeah, for the first time ever in public.
I have finally left the house.
Andrew, welcome to Junkyard Mayhem.
Thank you.
Welcome to Minnesota. How are you?
Minnesota before,
how are you feeling? You're podcasting.
Feeling pretty good, yeah. I mean, this is easy.
We
haven't had any problems.
No, there's been no technical issues.
We are good.
Whatsoever. Do not talk about the technical issues.
There are none. There's none to talk about.
We got set up pretty early for this because you were a bit nervous about...
No, I won't say nervous. Just like...
Then what word would you use? Extremely anxious?
Extremely... early.
Early, yeah. You're notoriously early.
I'm notoriously early.
As am I.
But I think I'm worse.
You're a bit worse?
Yeah. It's got to be genetic. Because I feel like both of our wives are not the same.
No.
We are both very early, and they are both like,
if we get there...
we're late, we're late.
If we get there at all, we get there at all. Whatever.
And I'm just sitting there like shaking, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, but sometimes like to a fault.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
it's not good.
Do you want to tell them how early we were to the basketball or the hockey game last night?
I'd say we were making pretty good time. We were about a half hour early to the hour and a half early time that we should have been there. But it's okay. We made it. We got a good spot in the parking garage.
Yeah, exactly.
So
we got like
which we then couldn't find on the way out because the elevators are underground. It makes no sense. But whatever.
Well, that's Minnesota for you. Underground parking garages.
With a very steep entrance. Did not like that either.
Wow. You're having a tough time here.
I am.
But welcome to Minnesota. Why are you here? Other than the fact that like you're my brother. Right?
I am your brother. That is part of it. We are finally celebrating I think this is like going on 2 years when we should have done a bachelor weekend thing. So we finally were able to all have our schedules clear up where Hannah and Meredith could go out to California and enjoy the winter out there.
They're having a way better time.
Much better. We had snow, more snow, cold weather, snow.
But we've been having kind of like a staycation.
We're having like a sports staycation. We're watching all the World Cup games.
Yes.
Going to a bunch of different Minnesota team
sporting events. It's been good. I'm going to tell you a funny story from one of those.
Yes.
So this is my brother Andrew, my little brother Andrew, emphasis on little.
No.
Do you want to give us like a rundown of who you are? Just encapsulate your life.
Encapsulate my life
history
in 3 sentences.
In 3 sentences. Can you do that?
Okay. Well, let's see. I'm 3 years younger than Shane, so I'm 27.
Boom. That's fast fact number 1.
Fast fact number 2. Beautiful wife, Laura. Shout out.
Aww,
what's up?
You're giving Laura a shout
Beautiful
out?
dog, Rick. Shout out. What's up, Rick? Just bought a house in Allentown about a year ago, so we're starting the whole American life of always being in debt and having to buy things all the time. And it's wonderful.
The American life of always being in debt.
That seems to be the American dream, is just debt.
That's cool. Well, it's been a good week so far. But in today's episode, we are going to mostly be focusing on, our earlier life together. We grew up together. We were inseparable for the first...
And then you moved away.
And then I left you. And then I ripped us apart.
And then, it hasn't been the same since.
I think we can blame Hannah for that.
Oh, yeah. For sure. I was going to do that later. But.
We're going to play a fun game at the end called Would You Rather, which I actually invented.
Mm-hmm.
No one's ever played this game before.
Would you rather?
But we're going to dig into the psyche of Andrew Hall, see if we can make him cry, see if we can make him have a breakdown. That's kind of what our relationship is. in, when we're not hurting, we're just making
Trying to make each other
fun of
cry.
each other, exploiting vulnerabilities,
Making the other person feel as uncomfortable as possible.
as small and insignificant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of small and insignificant, let's tell
Where are we
them.
going with that one?
Andrew, take your pants off.
Okay.
Let's tell them about the awkward little moment we had at the Squirmy event the other night.
Oh gosh.
We wanted to purchase some wine.
No, okay, so Shane wanted to purchase some wine, and
Andrew only drinks beer because he's so cool and manly. Okay, I wanted wine
Shane wanted wine
because I'm sophisticated and
because he's a
older.
sophisticated gentleman.
Oh.
And obviously it's harder for him to give a credit card and then take a glass of wine, so I was doing that for him.
The physical transactions.
Yeah, and there were a couple bottles of wine set up, so in the beginning we established that he wanted Chardonnay, and then there were 2 Chardonnays. So it was like,
Curveball.
what happened? We got to figure this out. So I'm asking him which one of the 2 he wants. The guy is picking up.
The guy selling the
the
wine.
guy selling the wine behind the counter was picking up that it wasn't for me.
Yes.
It was for, he hadn't carded me. That was the other thing at the point,
He
because
had
I
not.
look like I'm about 35,
You have
36,
a good
37.
amount of facial hair.
Yeah. And by that, I mean like 27. And then at that point, he was like, oh,
Is this for him?
it's for him?
Like,
Asking me, not asking him,
even though I'm right there.
even though he's right there.
And he is very taken aback.
Like,
Suddenly,
he like was in shock.
he almost fell over.
Kind of giggled a little bit, too.
He laughed a little bit.
And then was like, oh, I'm going to need to see an ID. And of course, we always plan for this. So I had his wallet in my pocket, go to get the idea. And of course, it's getting stuck. And like, I'm getting fidgety because I hate this situation. And can't get the license out of the wallet. And he finds this funny. Not Shane, the guy behind the counter finds this funny as well.
Yeah, he's saying, like, he's kind of giggling as if, like,
Thinking like we're trying to like sneak something by him, or I don't know. He
yeah, like, this
seems
is
like
a fake ID, so, like,
Yeah.
obviously we can't get it out of the wallet or it'll blow the whole thing.
And I asked Shane, I was like, oh, does this normally get stuck? And the guy also found this funny because he was just going through that in his head of that this guy is not buying wine from me today. And then he finally gets the ID. We show him it, and he goes like,
Oh.
okay. We're like, yeah. Can we have our wine now?
It's been 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Can we please have the Chardonnay?
And that was that.
That's happened to me so many times in my life.
And then later, when I went back to get another one, he was trying to act like Shane just stayed at the seats at this point, and he was like, "Oh, hey, buddy, like, what's going on?
He's trying to backtrack.
Another Chardonnay for you." And I just was not interacting. I was, yep.
Well, you know what?
Thank you.
At least he remembered you. So that moment left an impression on him in some way.
In some way.
Or you're just
Who knows
very
if
good looking.
Yes.
And he was like, oh, there's the handsome man again.
That's my boy.
But, he was like, oh, that was the person that I probably really insulted before.
Yeah.
So that
Hopefully.
was our fun little
Maybe he
moment.
learned a little something from
I
it.
didn't really give him too much benefit of a doubt there.
Oh,
But.
for sure. In my head, I'm giving him none.
All right. So before we get into all of our childhood stories, which are rife with junkyard mayhem, let's do a few icebreakers just to get to know you a little bit deeper.
Oof.
Tell us the story of the best scar that you have on your body.
Scar.
Yes.
Well, we grew up doing all kinds of stupid stuff, so I feel like I could tell like 20 stories.
You're covered in scars.
I'm covered in scars. It doesn't look good. I can't take my shirt off at the beach. It's bad. No, I would probably say the one on the back of my head from when we were at the MDA event. I don't remember which MDA event it was.
The MDA is a Muscular Dystrophy
Yes.
Association, and Andrew and I used to go with our parents to fundraisers
Yes.
that they would have. So when this happened, I was probably like 8. Like you were young.
Yeah, I was young.
So Andrew would have been like 5.
Yeah.
And go ahead, I'll let you take it from there.
And
Tell them about the game that we would play.
yes, so growing up, we had to find obviously fun ways to incorporate a wheelchair, and so one of them was a game called Ride the Bull,
Which sounds.
I was not riding Shane. I promise. There was no me on
You
the
used
wheel.
to stand on the wheelchair, but
Yeah.
that wasn't part of this
The game was basically I had to keep one of my feet up on his footrest, balancing on the other one, jumping around. He was allowed to spin, go forwards, backwards, to basically either get me to fall and die and have my foot fall off his footrest and he gets a point, or for me to just make some sort of mistake and lose my footing. I don't know. But basically, we're up on a stage at this point too. We figured it was a really good time. Okay, we're in front of everybody.
We're in front of people. Let's play
Let's do something stupid.
a ridiculous
I
game.
feel like we were waiting. We were on the stage waiting for something.
It wasn't like in the middle of the show.
No.
Yeah, it was
We were
not-
on the stage probably to, at some point, we'll have them make some sort of announcement or have dad talk or whatever.
Give me some kind of big award.
Yeah, probably like a really small one. So we're playing the game. And of course, I fall like I normally do because Shane's at an advantage. It's an unfair game. It's stacked against me. And I fall backwards, hit my head so hard on a metal. From what our parents say, like the sound that it made echoed throughout the hall. My head smacks back, hits the chair. Instantly, blood's everywhere.
Like a murder scene.
Like a murder
like
scene.
spraying blood.
And like dripping wherever I went. And so, of course, everyone's just like,
All the attendees in
what
their
is
like
going on?
in their tuxedos.
Did he just try and kill him?
Did he just kill that kid?
And so my dad sprints into action. He picks me up. I'm pretty sure he used something, probably like a napkin, puts it on the back of my head, takes me to the bathroom.
I remember Dad carrying you, and I remember another person
There was
holding
someone
your
else.
head.
Yes, another. I
Just a
don't remember
person.
her name.
It doesn't matter if you know.
Before we
not
continue, I
honest.
need to know her name.
All right, so that's the end of the podcast.
She was the one who drove us to the hospital, and I remember in my head they were freaking out because this was before cell phones and like you could just Google, okay, where's the nearest hospital?
Yeah.
They were trying to use a map in the front of the car, and it's dark because it's night at this point, so they're trying to figure out how to get me to the hospital.
Maybe the ambulance.
And I'm
would
just
have been
sitting
okay.
in the back seat, and I see the light at the stoplight turn green, and I'm just like sitting, waiting. They're still looking at the map. I'm just like, my head hurts. We need to go. I'm like, the light's green.
You're like, let me drive.
And then, oh, sorry, and kept going. But that's like a very vivid memory I have of that.
Yeah, so that was the time that Ride the Bull.
And every time I cut my hair now, people are always like, oh, you nicked yourself in the back. I'm like, nope, it's a scar. Haven't heard that one before.
Do you remember when your cheeks got caught in my wheel? Also playing Ride the Bull? It's
Oh my gosh,
very
yeah.
brief story, but we were also
I do,
playing
because
Ride
you
the
used to
Bull,
have really weird
and
covers.
he fell in the way where his cheeks got sucked into the wheel
It was
of my
all
chair.
black.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that didn't feel good.
So that's kind of the epitome of
We got hurt a lot.
our child. I mean, you got hurt a lot.
You also got hurt quite a bit. You had a spring break in your face,
Oh, yeah. A metal spray
from
shot in
your
my face.
ramp in the car. Needed stitches.
Next question.
Oh gosh,
Last icebreaker.
I feel like I know where this is going.
Have you ever whipped a frozen chicken finger at an extremely disabled person, i.e., me? I'll answer for you. Yes.
Did he deserve it though? That is the question.
We just told this story on the YouTube channel
I know you
a
did.
couple days ago, and I just want to know, now that you're here and this is live, do you have anything to say for yourself for
I would-
whipping, and let me just reiterate, whipping a frozen chicken finger at me and probably breaking my arm?
Well, you see here. The comments on the YouTube video were on my side,
You read the comments?
just to make sure that I didn't look like a terrible person. So, I'm going to just leave it at that.
There were a lot of people that were on your side, I agree.
They were on my side.
I mean, the fact
He
of the
ate
matter,
my chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
I had a really hard job. I worked outside in the sun for too long, and I had these chicken nuggets that I loved, and they were great. And I came home, and they were gone. So someone needed
they
to
were
get
not on.
There were 3 left, like 3 or 4.
There were enough that you felt you could
And
throw
they were the
one
kind
at
of chicken
me.
nuggets where you eat like 20 of them, and you just feel like crap, but you feel so good. And I had 3.
So in your rage, you assaulted me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. If it's deserving, though, is it really assault?
I'm gonna be yes, it is.
I don't know about that.
Legally, I think yes. I'm gonna be the bigger man and let bygones be bygones.
Okay.
I forgive you. I know that you were in a state of distress, and as
We
brothers,
can move forward now.
sometimes you rip chicken fingers at
Yeah.
each
I
other.
also have thrown a helmet at you before, too.
And an ice ball that hit my crotch. Do you remember that?
I throw things a lot, I
Yeah.
guess.
All right, well, we'll talk
my
more
God.
about things being thrown. When we come back, we're going to take a quick break, and then we have some really fun stories from our childhood.
Yes.
Be right back.
And we're back.
Wow, I even gave it some
Here we go.
flair. All right, thank you, Andrew. So I think that we should spend most of our time today telling some stories and memories from growing up together.
I think that's a good idea.
And
We have quite a few.
I think we should begin with the time that I made you into a human pulley system so that you could dunk the basketball. I'd like to hear your perspective. I've told this story a million times.
You have.
I tell it in every speaking engagement I do.
Yeah.
Hannah, we do speeches together, and she loves to make fun of like how unsafe this was. But why don't you go ahead and tell the story as you remember it?
I feel like we have to start with saying why we wanted to do it.
Yes.
So growing up, our friend Pat, he had a basketball hoop, one of those where you could adjust the height of it. And we also had the small little urban rebounder trampolines where if we put the basketball hoop all the way down and used the trampoline, we could like maybe dunk.
I
a little
forgot
bit.
about that trampoline.
Just barely.
I totally forgot about the trampoline.
And like, so we were playing basketball all the time. And of course, dunking is like the coolest thing you can do as a human being.
Yeah, and how old were you around this time? You were probably 9,
I
10.
was going to say, yeah, it's somewhere in that 9,
in that
10,
age.
11 range.
So I would have been,
Shane's 12, Pat's 10 or 11.
yeah, we're kids,
We want to dunk, a real dunk, like on a 10-foot hoop,
not using the trampoline.
not using the trampoline, correct. So being like 4 feet tall, 4.5, I don't know how tall you are at 9, you can't dunk at that age.
Uh-huh.
But if you have someone who can pull you up with a rope, you can dunk. And so we thought, Andrew's a little smaller. He'll be the guinea pig. Let's tie a really raspy, thick, not nice rope around his waist.
I always say it was like a nautical.
Yeah,
something
one of
you would
those.
lose on a ship.
Correct. And one that had been used often. So there were a lot of little pieces sticking out all over the
All
place.
thorns.
Yeah, it didn't feel good.
We
And
tie it around your waist.
tied around my waist. Doesn't feel good already. And then loop it up over the basketball hoop,
Through the hoop, I believe.
through the hoop, somewhere up. Yeah, it would have to be that way. Down to Shane's chair,
Tied to my chair.
tied to the front so that he could continue watching and reverse
Yep.
to pull us back up instead of like turned around driving away. He won't be able to see the dunk.
So it was really about my pleasure of seeing
Yeah,
you dunk.
I'm sure that came up a lot. And I start going up. It is working,
Which is amazing.
which is amazing.
As 11-year-olds figuring
It's like
out.
we are physicists.
We are scientists.
We're
right now.
engineers, and we deserve compensation for this.
We are set for a lifetime of riches and inventions and patents.
Yes. And right after that, we get stuck, sort of.
We did
We
it.
get up about halfway.
You were almost, well, you're pretty high,
We're close.
but
And then we hear some screaming, which was our dad, I believe. Because you can see their backyard from our backyard when we were growing up. And I'm sure he looked over and saw, my son's in the air.
he's hovering.
And he is connected to the wheelchair. That's not good. So he runs over. All the while, Shane's still trying to back up because we're at the point where, like,
Well,
we
no,
probably understood pulleys better back then, but I don't understand them now. It's easier in the beginning once you get up towards the
the apex. I
apex,
believe.
yeah, the fulcrum. It gets harder. So there's more pressure on the wheelchair.
I'm in full reverse.
Full reverse.
My wheels are
spinning.
spinning.
I'm
There's,
sure
like,
there was
smoke
smoke.
coming out. Pat's like yanking on my chair.
Yeah, to
give
try
me
and
some
get a little extra.
power.
Still didn't get up.
And then Dad begins to scream.
Dad begins to scream, tell us to stop because he sees the wheelchair, knowing that it's getting screwed up. And we broke the wheelchair.
Well, oh yeah, you jumped right to it.
And I don't even really know if I dunked. I
You
feel
never
like
dunked, no.
I don't. I think I just blocked that part out because it was so traumatizing.
Yeah.
I never got to dunk.
But you kind of skimmed over the biggest like piece of it here. As we lowered Andrew down, we saw that my wheelchair could only turn one direction. Like I could only turn in a circle. Couldn't drive straight, couldn't
Yep.
turn the other way. All of that like effort that my chair was giving, all that smoke, was the motors in my chair destroying themselves, like melting.
Like, yeah, they were toasted.
And the replacement cost of that was like $8,000.
Yeah,
It was a lot.
quite a bit.
So we might have been grounded for a few days.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
No ropes for a couple days.
no more rope, guys.
Yeah,
Was it worth it, do you think?
absolutely. You can only learn through failure in life.
Wow.
That is one thing that I live by.
That
You fail forward. You don't fail back.
these are life lessons
Fail
with
forward.
Andrew Brohall. All right. Speaking of life
Oh
lessons,
jeez.
let's move on. Another basketball incident, or not incident, but another phase in our life
Yeah.
was when I, the disabled human being, was your basketball coach
Because why not?
for a church league basketball team,
Yeah.
the Seals.
The Purple Seals. Our shirts were purple, so we just embraced the name of the Purple Seals.
Andrew, tell us about the Purple Seals, and then I'll talk about my involvement as your coach.
As the head coach, not head coach, but
think-
basically,
I
you were
think
like
I
the
was-
sous. You were like the sous chef.
I was the assistant.
Yeah. Church basketball team, full of a bunch of friends growing up. We all decided, hey, let's do this. This will be fun. I don't remember how it came up. I think we may have gone to them and said, like, hey, we'd like to be in this league.
Yeah. Bad idea.
We were not good.
No.
We, first year, I believe, won a total of 0 games. And all the while, so Pat, the person in the last story that
Our best friend.
our best friend growing up, was on one of the other teams who was more established. You know, they were a franchise.
They were good.
They had been around for a while. They were good.
They had kids that like went on to
They
play.
had kids that could dunk without a rope.
Yeah.
And we were like 12, 13, 14. So we gave it a dabble. First year, didn't win any games. Second year, I believe we won 1.
You did. It might have been like they didn't show up with enough players.
No,
the other team.
I remember because we celebrated like we won the World Series. It was the greatest thing ever. And then to humiliate us later on in the year, we received a special trophy, which I believe Shane got as well, because we were such good sports and we had put up with losing for so often. We got a participation trophy.
Yeah, which the other teams did not
Which
get.
is basically like, you are the worst.
You've never won a game.
There was never, ever a participation trophy before. No one ever got that. It wasn't like a yearly thing. It was like here you go, guys.
Yeah.
We don't have much to live for, but here's a participation trophy. And
I, as Andrew said, was an assistant coach on this team. And that was because I was in, I think, my first year of high school. And I had to do community service hours to graduate. And so this felt like a fantastic way to like spend time with my brother and his friends and like
get community service.
get community service.
Don't have to do any of the boring community service.
I did not know much about this team when I volunteered to be a assistant coach. I and Andrew, we were very into sports throughout our childhood. So we, absorbed everything that we could about how to play various sports like basketball, how to win, how to be effective. Obviously, that didn't translate for the Purple
Just
Seals.
there. That's the only spot.
But I went into my first practice thinking I was going to be bringing in like basketball theory, like play design and, like real intricate parts of the game. I get there and realize like I need to teach these kids how to dribble, how to like
Had a pass.
walk in a straight line.
Well,
What was your most like embarrassing moment of that season? The season where you didn't win a single game.
well, other than all of the memories of that season, I would say there was a game. We were playing Pat, our friend, with the very good team, and it was the end of the game.
You were down by only a little bit.
We were. It was manageable. Well, I feel like a lot of our games were close. We were the team that lost by a few points every game, but also by a lot of points every other game. But we were close, so we could have won a lot of games. This being one of them, and they are inbounding, coming up the court. Not much time left on the clock, like 10, 15 seconds left. And so we're covering everybody who's trying to come up the floor so that they can't inbound the ball. Maybe we can steal it.
You're trying to steal the inbound
We're trying
pass.
to steal the inbound pass to have the chance of scoring and then winning the game.
The buzzer beater.
Yeah.
The reason that a basketball player
Yeah.
lives to nail
For that moment.
Nail that buzzer beater.
And I had that moment. I had that
You
moment.
were in the right place at the right time.
Right place, right time. The ball, I can see it in slow motion. The ball was coming to me. I had figured out where they were going to pass it and got
Lightning
in
reflexes.
the perfect place to get the ball and steal it and dribble up the court. And I totally screwed the pooch.
What'd you do?
Instead of trying to catch the ball, went up and just tried to smack it as hard as I could with my forearm, because obviously that's what you want to do. It makes the most uncomfortable, loud noise because it was in a small gym. There was like nobody there.
A volleyball spike.
It was like a volleyball spike, not even with my fist, with my forearm. And it goes out of bounds, and I look around and realize,
I needed to catch
I
that.
should have done something differently. And like the time is just slowly ticking. It didn't even like go hard too. It just like slowly rolled out of bounds.
Allowing the clock to expire.
Yeah, and it was just like,
That's on me, guys.
that's
I'm gonna take the L on that one.
that's basketball for you.
Well, that's basketball for the purple
For the
Seals.
Seals, yeah, that's how our season went.
I'm proud of you and every player on that team.
But we tried.
You guys made a lot of well, I don't know if it was growth. You physically
We learned.
you got taller
things.
from one season to another.
Yeah.
So you grew in that way.
We did.
You didn't get much better at basketball though.
No.
So basketball was not in your future.
No.
All right, so let's get away from basketball, and I'm going to talk about the time that you saved my life, like literally saved my life.
I did.
I may not be here if it was not for a heroic act of bravery that you
And strength. Gotta throw strength in there.
don't get ahead of
The
yourself.
bigger brother.
Tell them about how you saved my life.
Saving Shane's life was the best thing that I ever did.
Oh, what a loving brother you are.
But also the stupidest thing in terms of how it happened. So I had anything that I had with wheels, whether it was a bike, a scooter, a skateboard, rollerblades. The best thing was being able to hold on to Shane's chair and not exert any energy and just get pulled. I would just hold on and
And we would do that thing where I would like whip you
Yeah.
so that you had more
it was like
speed.
speed.
So we would like approach a ramp. We had all these like ramps that they would like fly off of
X
and
Factor ramps.
try to do tricks, even though they all sucked.
Yeah. I could ollie,
You said all that. Anyway,
pop shove it.
yep. And I would whip them at these things for extra speed. So that's probably what we were doing
Yes.
with this scooter that
Doing
you were
something
on.
stupid. So yeah, I had a scooter, and
What were those called? The Razor scooters?
no, so this wasn't my Razor scooter.
Oh my god, it does not matter. What was it, Andrew?
It was one of my bigger, like it was basically like an off-road scooter, and I had used it just because it was cool. Because obviously everyone wants to have an off-road scooter when they're growing up.
That's so cool.
And
Everyone
so
watching
it was
right now
really
is like, wow,
thick.
cool.
And that's why it launched you so high, because it was a thick scooter, like this thick, rather than the Razors. Although they can destroy your ankles, they are small.
Yes. All right. So that was a bit of foreshadowing with launching me.
Yeah.
What happened?
The launch. I'm on the side of him getting pulled, and
Flying down the road.
we were going way too. We always and they had just paved that road too. I'm pretty sure it was this smoothest ride ever, and we're going. And I probably wanted to do a speed boost type thing.
Speed boost. We had
And-
we would like yell out speed boost.
And so with scooters, it's a little more difficult because you got to hold like the middle of the handlebars, have the other hand on your chair.
You're steering with one hand.
And yeah, and obviously being a kid, my balance is not the greatest. And so we're doing the speed boost, and I jolt to the side,
You screw up.
which then made my hand turn to the right, pushing the scooter directly under the wheelchair. Which,
At top
if you've ever seen a wheelchair hit a scooter, which I'm sure most of you
It's
have,
a normal experience.
it then makes him want to flip.
It causes some
It causes
mayhem.
some mayhem. And so it's like slow motion at this point. The scooter has gone under the chair. It has flipped up the side.
The chair's tipping.
The chair's tipping
to the left.
And it's not like a slow tip. In my head, it's a slow tip because it's slow motion. But it's like
Hold on. Do you see the world in slow motion?
everything.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's why you talk like that.
Okay. So the chair, I could have not saved you. The chair was tipping, and Shane can't brace himself for impact. And if you can see the right side of his body, there's not like a pillow there or anything for him to land on.
No, and I'm fragile.
And you're very fragile. And your head is the heaviest part of you. So it was going to come down with some force.
It was going to be a head breaker.
It was going to be a head breaker on the pavement. And I jump off. I had fallen off the scooter at this point.
You're on the ground.
I'm on the ground. Get up, hold the side of his chair, and rip it back, somehow cradling your neck so when you flip back the other way, you didn't break your body then going that way. And it was all just a graceful save back. No body parts were injured. Your head was fine. You didn't snap your neck.
I survived.
I'm bawling at this point because I was so scared that I was going to kill my brother and just felt so bad that I was dumb enough to do that. And like the rest of the afternoon, I was so upset, just bawling. When we went around, we finished our little saving, went around the block to go to Pat's house, and I was still just so upset because of how close it was to you flipping over and just dying. Just being dead.
But you didn't. You saved me.
I did. So it's a good story.
Whatever. It's happy ending.
You're here now.
I am here now. It's all because of Andrew. Everything I've achieved in life. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. So these are all kind of our Jetyard Mayhem sports stories. Us being silly kids. You are a adult. I'm an adult.
Sometimes.
Yeah, mostly. So I'm going to switch from kind of all the silly to a little bit more serious now. Are you going to be able to handle that?
For a short amount of time. I can maybe give you a couple minutes.
Okay, you're allowed to
2,
still
3.
joke, but let's keep it with a level of seriousness.
Okay.
As you know, Hannah and I are YouTubers now, podcasters.
You are.
Are you familiar?
No.
Squirmy and Grubs on
Okay.
YouTube. A little over 1 million followers.
Wow.
Thank you.
Like and subscribe.
Thank you. And as we've been doing that over the last 4 or 5 years, our family knows that a very common reaction that we get to our videos is this assumption and the assertion that Hannah and I are not in a real relationship, that I am either paying her or she's using me, or there's a myriad number of theories about how we are fake and not in love. And all of those ideas are based on the presumption that I am not a valuable partner. I can never be a lovable husband for Hannah. I'm going to get your take on everything about that and just how you feel. How does that make you feel as my brother?
Well, to start off, you're not a good lover. Just going to throw that out there. No, I mean, obviously,
Lover was the weirdest word.
it was the one that I chose very carefully. But yeah, obviously growing up, we experienced that as well. We weren't lovers. Just want to throw that out there. Just people seeing you drive around, and I think they would just judge because they wouldn't understand it. And
They underestimate.
they underestimate you, and they paint the picture in their head. And I think the biggest thing whether it was our childhood or your and Hannah's career and life together, I think that for society, it's a lot easier to, if you don't understand something, paint your own picture in your head. You make your own narrative. When you don't understand something, it's so much easier than going out of your way to change your viewpoint and your understanding and educate yourself. It's so much easier to just not do that and paint your own picture in your head, which is what people do. And it has to be human nature because people just do that. It's
Some people, not everyone.
correct. Yeah, I guess I'm painting society in a very bad light.
Yeah, this is a small subset.
There
of
are
society.
people who choose to do that rather than figure out what is going on and whether it's you guys or anything.
Yeah.
I think that you guys are doing a really good job with your videos and everything that you're doing with work to be that education for people.
Oh, thank
that
you.
it's okay to be different. It's okay that things don't look like the norm that you're used to seeing.
Yeah.
Doesn't make them wrong
Yep.
or bad
Or fake.
or fake. It is just different. And I feel like as a whole, we are shifting towards being able to have, I mean, there's all different, people are being
Embraced.
and being represented way more than they ever have been at this point in society. And you guys are part of that in terms of educating people.
This is so heartfelt.
I'm gritting my teeth together so hard right now. I'm trying my
As
best.
soon as we tear
This
this off,
is just bad.
I'm just getting punched.
Yeah, for sure. Can't believe you made me say that.
I mean, I appreciate that sincerely.
I don't mean it.
What has been your kind of like putting the YouTube stuff aside, perspective or like thoughts on my relationship with Hannah? Like, you've been there every step of the way, you know.
Yeah.
You used to be one of my primary caregivers, and then as Hannah and I fell in love, like she took that over as we began spending more and more time together. And now we live together. What's like?
Well, I mean, I remember.
Other than the fact that you're like really proud of me.
Yeah, none of that is actually true. I remember when you left. I feel like for both of us, it was really hard that day when you made that call to move. You
Oh
were
my
moving
God.
to Minnesota. That was
Yeah.
a really difficult day for both of us because it was the end of an era. But
I remember the first thing you said to me. I sat you down in the basement and I was like telling you about
Yeah.
it. And the first thing you said was, "So can I have your Xbox?"
I needed the Xbox. I needed to make sure that I could still play my video games. But no, I in my best man speech, I had thought of a good way to
Andrew was my best man at our wedding.
describe how I felt about you guys. And I had described a story about another time where you almost died. This time, not my fault, thankfully. But just a really scary moment in our life where you had no one to take care of you, and I had to rush home to make sure that nothing bad happened.
Right.
And knowing you and knowing Hannah and the person that she is and how well she takes care of you, I have never felt that fear in the years that you've been gone that
Right.
there's not good care or there's going to be a chance of you being home alone and something really bad happening. I've never had that uncomfortableness while you've been gone of not knowing if you were going to be taken care of properly or even like kept alive. Like,
This is a testament to Hannah. And, you know, how incredible she is as a person.
for sure. Yeah. And it fills me with a lot of joy to know that I don't have to worry about you and know that you're having a really good, productive and happy life out here with her, even if it is 1,000 miles away. I'll take it.
And in the coldest place
And
ever.
in the coldest place, which I always seem to visit in the winter.
Yeah,
I
you
don't.
never come in the summer.
I came once in the summer.
It's way better in the summer.
It is,
Well, that was the most heartfelt thing I've ever
and you'll
heard.
never get anything like that.
I have it on
ever
video,
again.
so I have it now.
Well, I will go take the check that you offered me when we're done with
But
this.
see, now that you say that, the trolls are going to be like,
I know it's
see,
perfect.
he actually is paid.
I
you
am.
know?
He is.
All right, everyone. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with a fun little game. I'm going to ask Andrew some would you rathers to, figure out how strange he is on the
Yeah.
inside. All right, we'll be right back.
And we're back
Wow.
with a game.
Oh, what game are we playing?
We're playing a little game called Would You Rather?
Would you rather? I'm going to present Andrew with some perplexing situations and see which he would more rather partake in.
Which he would more rather. Good English.
All right, here we go.
Oof.
Andrew, would you rather have the ability to see 10 minutes into the future or 150 years into the future? So 10 minutes or 150 years?
10 minutes. That's a good one. I'm not going to be around in 150 years.
Right.
But it would be interesting to see, like, what.
But it could be
also
really
could be
disappointing.
terrifying to see what it's going to
It's
be like.
definitely going to be the most junkyard mayhem.
Yeah. But 10 minutes, that doesn't give me a whole lot unless it's something. I'm trying to think of a scenario where it would be useful to know 10 minutes in the future.
You don't need to be a philosopher here.
I'm philosophizing this. I would go 150 years in the future.
Wow.
Mostly to see if we're able to turn the corner as a society and fix all of the craziness that's going on right now. And I think they will. I think it'll be good.
Wow, a note of optimism.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I have hope.
Good to hear.
And I'll be able to see my grandbabies and see what they're doing and their kids.
And then you'll be like, oh, well, I'm not there, so actually, this is really sad.
But I'll know that they're obviously doing well.
Well,
Because
maybe
they're going to be Burkhalls.
maybe you'll look at 150 years in the future and see yourself and be like, whoa, we really extended
We
lifespan.
have figured out cryo, sleeping, whatever those things are called.
That would be great. All right, next question. Would you rather be chronically underdressed or chronically overdressed?
Oh, chronically overdressed, for sure. No doubt in my mind.
I know. I put this one because I thought this whole week, as you and me have been like,
We've been chronically underdressed.
going places. No.
You have been.
Yeah. You overdressed. I'm
Yeah.
like sweatpants and a t-shirt,
Yeah.
whatever, comfy shoes. And you're like, I need to maybe get a tie.
Yeah. No, I mean, I would 100% rather be the most dressed person in the room than the least dressed person in the room
Wow.
in any scenario,
But I
whether it's a
don't care.
wedding, a
I don't care.
restaurant,
I don't care.
airport.
Go ahead. Next question. This one's pretty deep.
Oh, jeez.
Would you rather be 11 feet tall or 9 inches tall?
Jeez. Is my body proportional in both scenarios?
Yes.
Like,
No, when you're 11 feet, it's only your
I'm 8
legs.
foot of leg.
That would be hot.
Oh, jeez.
Well, 9 inches feels way more dangerous, but like you could.
I won't be able to drive.
But
I
you
won't be able
could
to drive if I was 11 feet. I'd have to buy like a convertible and just always having air just launched in my face
And
because I'm above the windshield
smacking your head on
and
bridges.
tree branches and stuff. Oof. That's
But
tough.
you could dunk.
I could dunk
Without
11 feet tall for sure.
You'd be in the NBA.
I would be. I would be the NBA.
You'd be your
They
own
would make a
team.
new logo for me. So 11 feet, lock it in.
There it is. All right, last one. This is maybe the deepest one of all.
Oh, jeez.
Would you rather vomit on your hero or have your hero vomit on you? And I'm going to go ahead and just assume that
You are
I'm your
not my
hero.
hero. Throwing that out there. Oof. It depends. See, all these depend on a lot of different circumstances.
Do you have a hero? Like one that's not sentimental? Like, don't say a family member. Like, do you have a kind of a celebrity hero? Anything like that?
Hero. How about just maybe not hero, maybe someone who I've always wanted to meet.
Okay.
How about that? Because there's like 1,000 sports players
Yeah.
that I would have loved to had the chance to meet them. I feel like it would be way better if they threw up on me, as disgusting as that is. They would then be the one that feel bad about it.
I need a good story then.
And I would have a good story, and I would probably get like, oh, hey, sorry, here's a bunch of free signed merch that you can have. please don't sue me. I don't know if you can sue people for getting thrown up on, but then I wouldn't have to go through the embarrassment of being like, hey, I just met my hero, and there's throw up all over him. So definitely have him throw up on me.
Yeah, there we are.
For sure.
My hero is the man that hurted me when we ordered wine, and I would rather have thrown up on him.
Yeah.
So.
We can make that happen, probably.
Just about, I'll order 10 wines, and then I will throw up on him.
And then you will throw up on him.
All right, everyone. That is Junkyard Mayhem, episode 6. Wow, you know better than I do.
Yeah. Well, I opened the folder.
Please give us a great review on whatever platform you're listening on. Leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube. Send us a message. Give us 5 stars. Do all those fun things. Andrew, thanks for being here. Thanks for keeping me alive this week.
No problem.
I know there's been a lot of
bathroom
incidents.
There has been bathroom incidents.
But we will love to have you back.
We conquered it.
We did conquer it.
We conquered it.
Thank you for being here. Love you. And that's the end.
It's a junkyard out there.
Spike that basketball right out of bounds, ruining the game for your team.
And there you have it.